Let's talk about the coalition Mayor Johnson has tried to put together. In the beginning, I was a little skeptical that people from the outlying areas would buy into this and would show up at the meetings. What's your assessment of how the coalition has come together and what it's done so far and the whole process? Eric, I'll start with you.
Out of the gate business and not the Maloofs. That was vital. It became an issue of our region and not just the city. You had the Metro Chamber highly involved. Matt Mayhood needs to be complimented for his leadership when he was at the helm of the Metro Chamber here. And the regional connectivity. I too saw the mayor in Placer County talking about this issue and the people listening with great interest. There is a paradigm shift going on that this means more than a basketball game, a basketball team, the color purple, and owners called the Maloofs. This is the future of Sacramento. Do we get past the poking in the fun of Cowtown, or do we develop this capital city with a regional effort and develop it in a way that we can grab hold of the future? And I think it starts with business.
Yeah, I do think that this was a major moment for the business community that's been racked in the last several years. That it was an opportunity to prevent another business from leaving Sacramento, when too many have left already, and when the mayor was able to convince Thunder Valley Casino to all of a sudden invest a substantial amount of money, and that news came out, it was momentum, and it soon generated support, corporate support, financial support from other core businesses. And so when the mayor stood in front of all these business leaders, that took this discussion into a whole different realm at that point. And I do think the symbolism of that was that this isn't about the Maloofs anymore, and it's not about the Kings anymore. This is about self-determination in Sacramento to try to keep this business here and to finally try to get this process done of building an attraction in the downtown area to kickstart that, and hopefully it will encourage other investment in the area. I think once it becomes about that, and it becomes about people expressing their love for the team as well, it took it out of what it had always been, which is a discussion about how much is it going to cost and who's going to pay for it, and it became about we really want this, and we want to try to keep it here.
Yeah, I mean, the sentiment is right, and that's a stark contrast, to the last time they tried to make this happen. So that's an incredible positive. Kind of like you said, Eric, regarding you got to get through the sausage grinder. That's what I want to see is you have more regional support than ever, but the checks, still have to come, and the support has to be there. I think they've gotten creative in a real positive way with the possibilities of things like, user surcharges and ways to essentially tax unofficially, the Kings fans and event goers who come from out of the Sacramento area, and I think that's only fair, and that's why it should be a regional impact thing. I mean, you're talking Placer County is literally filling that building, almost twofold over Sacramento residents. So the sentiment is right. Hopefully they have the follow through to capitalize on that.
I'm going to ask you to go back to your scorecards now. Now we're going to rate what we know about the arena financing plan. So far, we don't know everything yet, but we do know that they're talking about surcharges and ways to get people that are using the facility to pay for it, and ways to get people who are visiting the city to help pay for it. They haven't said it yet, but they've all but ruled out a broad tax. Are they on the right track, wrong track, or is this high-speed rail here? Are they moving really fast?
Is this not already simultaneous?
Simultaneous reveal.
You want us to reveal?
Yeah. Sam is
I'm
still
not ready. I know.
searching.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Right track. Everybody. Marcus, we'll start with you.
And I think the reason for that is this. It's not going to be a tax because the politics aren't there, and California law essentially prevents it from happening in the current climate, particularly with the current economics. There's no huge concentration of wealth, so you're not going to have like a major Fortune. There is no Fortune 500 company in Sacramento, for crying out loud. So you have to find all these other areas. So you have to bring a private developer to come in and really get the process started and be a major player. And then it's about, tapping into a whole host of revenue streams, cell towers and surcharges on tickets, and having a sales tax for goods and services from within that one, that the core area where the arena is going to be, charging more on the price of the ticket itself. And I think the areas where it will be controversial is discussing utilizing city parking lots with revenues from that going to the arena, and also city property that's owned. Do you put that on the block and tap into those funds as well? That probably promises to be the most controversial. But I think if you start to paint a picture of, look, guys, if you're not going to raise a tax, and we don't have a Fortune 500 company, and we do need this, how are you going to pay for it? And I think that's where we are right now, is trying to find less odious ways of doing it. And at the end of the day, you have to find the money. The debt service is not going to be insignificant, and you're going to need to find a number of different ways to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've come as close to doing it the right way to this point as they could have. I mean, to me, the key factor is throughout the process, Mayor Johnson and everybody else involved has honored the public at a time when nobody wants to hear about taxes. In this economy, people just do not want to hear it. And it felt for a couple of weeks there like maybe they were leaning towards, investigating a broad tax type of thing. They very quickly moved away from that, and it was smart. They've honored the public. They've kept the positivity in the room, which is huge. I mean, I've, as an observer, learned and been fascinated by that part of the political component, how important it is to, once you lose that vibe, once you lose the support and the positivity, this thing can go downhill very fast. At the end of the day, there's a very real possibility that this is not enough. It doesn't happen. You can make all the right moves, get as creative as possible, come up with all these ideas, and the numbers might not be there. But, for me, and to this point, I think they've done a very good job.
Yeah, the question will be who are they, or who is the outside, private sector person adding money to the effort here? But it can't be a tax. You can't do it at this point. The marketing on that would be terrible, and it wouldn't gain any support. But you can fee, user fee. You can talk about out-of-towner fees, 6 counties, hotels, motels, rental cars, bed and breakfast fees that go toward an arena, something like that, because the 6-county area will benefit from this. If there's a convention in that entertainment complex downtown in Sacramento, which happens to be the capital of California, which you could assure yourself there will be some type of political convention held there, right? We agree that that'll happen. And if they're here for a couple of days, they will entertain themselves, they will eat, and they will travel to El Dorado and Yolo County and Placer County to get away to spend their money. So there is a benefit in this to feed the 6-county area to get this done.
Over the last couple days, I've been asking on Twitter, we're all on Twitter, I think, SB_Ed_Fletcher. I've been asking,
Shameless plug.
Tweet him.
I've been tweeting, what would you ask my panel here if you had the chance? And Ed Whistler 530 wants to know, how much do ticket prices typically go up in new arenas?
Ticket prices are probably going to go up. The concessions are going to go up a little bit. But so will the entertainment and the value on the court, because you're going to have a revenue stream. I mean, it's economics, it's ROI, return on investment. And that ownership in a brand new arena is going to have to produce a winner. So the product's going to have to be good if the prices are up, and they're going to work hard, you would hope, if they're good businessmen and women, to do just that.
In 2 years,
I'm on the fence. I'll say in 2 years, they are, closing in on, I'm forgetting the timeline, but not the completion, but getting towards, having a venue built, and the team stays here. You have a lot of mystery still remaining, and I think answers we don't have yet. But if I had to get off that fence, I mean, in 2 years, this team is here.
2 years, this team is here. We're moving towards an arena, and the owners are different.
Yeah, Marcos is right. 2 years, the team is here. The arena's not done. We're excited about the brand new team and the brand new ownership. Things will be different.
all right, as we start to wrap up here, I'm going to ask for your final thoughts. Anyone want to go first?
Final thoughts. It's been a fascinating saga for me personally to cover. It's a mix of politics and sports that I've never experienced on this level, and I do think I have a pulse on it. And I think that, like I just said, I think it goes the direction that I see it going, which is this thing getting done. And I truly do, as a guy who's lived here now for 10 years, do think it's what's best for the region. And as somebody who has seen a lot of different parts of the country, it's one of those things where love the model or hate the model. If you get off this wagon, I think the city is the worse for it. If you want to play this game, you want to be, it's not about being New York, Chicago, LA. But if you want to be a mid-major city and and it's not about ego, it's not about things like that. It's about quality of life, the next generation, the direction that people are taking the city. I actually genuinely do think that's a very important part of what the city is doing.
Yeah, cities are more than just, services and bricks and mortar. It's about creating destinations for people to go and to enjoy life and take their families. And, we have a community desire of developing our downtown. This arena would help in that process. I think people showed that they really like having the Kings in Sacramento, and maybe in this case the politics finally work in the right direction.
Build the sports and entertainment complex, develop the river walk, the riverfront, get Yolo County involved to develop their side, encourage Mayor Cabalden to do the same on his side. Make sure the Olympics come to Tahoe in 2022. Hold figure skating and ice hockey in our brand new arena downtown. Enjoy the brand new hotels and restaurants and the removal of blight, and see Sacramento thrive. Or say no and stay a cowtown.
Stark options there. I appreciate everybody being here. I think this has been a really important conversation, a insightful conversation, but the conversation is going to shift again. September 8th, I believe, the Think Big Commission, Kevin Johnson, will reveal more details on their spending plan at the Sacramento Press Club luncheon. Look us up online, Sacramento Press Club. And I think that's going to be a big turning point in this process, because as of now, there hadn't been many critics of this because they don't know where the money's coming from. But I think this conversation will continue, and I appreciate you guys being here and helping out our listeners or our viewers in navigating this process. So again, thank you, Sam, Marcos, Eric.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Again, this is sponsored by Access Sacramento and Sacramento Press Club. I'm your host, Ed Fletcher. Thanks for watching.